don't know where my ferrocene rod is. I checked my pockets. I thought I put it in my pocket. I thought I put it in this pocket right here, and the zipper was open. Alright guys, welcome back. This is Survival Living, and this is the beginning of our new series of outdoor survival. So, what we're doing, I'm here in Northwest Florida, and we're going to be spending 5 days out here with nothing what's in this pack. Now, what is in this pack? This is mostly camera equipment. The only thing, as far as survival items goes, is this little survival pack that I picked up. Is about 60 bucks. And no, we're not endorsing it, but I'm just going to show you with learning skills, you can use some of these simple items here and actually survive. The reason why I picked this pack is because I see it all the time on online communities and things like that, where people are purchasing these packs and they have a false sense of survival when something happens. Now, can you survive with this kit? Yeah, and I'm going to show you for the next 5 days. I'll be using this kit and surviving out here. So, what we're going to be doing, we got a lot of terrain to travel with. We have our electric bike out here with us this time. Just recently got that. I'm doing a lot of outdoor films with it because I'm able to travel a lot with this thing instead of hiking all the time, because that's usually what I'm out here doing. So, we're going to be taking this pack and all of our camera gear. 5 days, guys. Hopefully we'll be able to get some fishing done, hopefully get some hunting done as far as setting up snares and traps. This part of Florida is hit and miss. It is springtime here, so since it's springtime, I am hoping that we luck out on actually getting food. Because I don't have food, I don't have water. All I have is this. And I see some trash out here. You know, beer can. My kit does not have a single bottle. Yeah, this thing's been here a while. I could actually use this, but I'm not. The reason why I'm not is because I want to show you guys some other methods of purifying water. I'm going to keep it, just because I'm here for 5 days by myself. But I want to show you other methods on how to purify water. So I'm going to hang on to this. This is a little treasure. It's trash, but we're going to keep it because you can actually boil water in this. I've done that for years as an actual freight train rider, using beer cans to boil water. But I'm going to teach you some other skills first. Alright guys, the grasshopper needs to take their heads and pull their stomach and innards out. Just like that right there. And we got dinner if we wanted to cook them up and roast them, or we can save them for our fish trap. As a matter of fact, I might go ahead and grab those innards and hang on to those for our catfish trap. Since we're in this area, we just got our grasshopper. I'm going to show you this right here. This here is lichen moss. You can eat it dry. You can submerge it in some hot water. You can make it more palatable. This stuff here, guys, does have nutrition, and I've shown this many times on my channel. I do apologize for this wind, guys. This is ridiculous. I can deal with rain, I can deal with heat, I can deal with cold, but survival in a freaking windstorm is miserable. It's just non-stop pounding on you. It wears you out. So anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and collect a bunch of this stuff up here. Reindeer moss lichen is really good. Well, the flavor's not. It tastes, to me, it tastes like rock. Now, with these high winds, I already know it's gonna take a lot out of my body dealing with it non-stop. So at the bottom of this ravine, I see a little pond down there. I'm gonna try to get down there and get against that ridge there on the far side and hopefully block some of this wind, which is over here on this side of the pond. I'm just getting bombarded non-stop with this wind. It actually feels like I'm on the Gulf of Mexico. That's what it feels like. As you can see, there's a lot of short pines out in this area. Well, that's because this particular area gets cut back for the paper mills and things like that. So this is a lot of square mileage of just nothing but pine trees. There are some oaks and things like that have worked its way in here, and a lot of ponds and stuff. So we're gonna work our way down and try to find a good spot to set up a shelter. So we're on the back side of the pond. I'm actually trying to get over here to this location over here. But check it out. I found dinner. Yep, buddy. We got ourselves some cactus. So I'm gonna cultivate this, and I'm gonna throw it in our saddlebags along with any grasshoppers and reindeer moss we find. We're collecting. We can still eat tonight. Of course, got to get a fire going, and it is wise to figure out some way to purify some water. So I do know that our kit does come with some purification tabs. It's only 4 or 6 of them. It's only good for like 6 quarts of water, and I'm out here for 5 days, so that's not going to last. So we have to come up with a new inventive way on purifying our water without a container. Basically, we're going to need to make one. Or we'll have to use rocks to flash boil our water. That'll work as well. That way we're actually purifying our water. Because I just took a look at that water when I was walking by. Pretty scummy looking in some spots down here in Florida. Because how warm our water can get in these ponds, it just produces a whole bunch of microbial bacteria and stuff, and you don't want to drink that. Not without filtering or boiling. So let's go ahead and collect this cactus up right here, and we'll move forward. Now, speaking of, guys, when I speak of rocks, this is a commodity. This is a commodity down here where I'm at. An actual rock down here in Florida. Most of this is sand and pines, and not only one, we got 2. So I'm going to keep an eye open for these, because these here I'm going to have to superheat to purify our water. So good find. We're going to try to collect some more. Not bad for our first day, and most of us been walking around. As long as you're paying attention and looking, you'll find resources for sure. So let's go ahead and we still got to collect our cactus and everything, and we got to get on the other side of this pond and get a shelter built, kind of look around what we got going on. So yeah, I'm exhausted, and again, the wind. I mean, I cannot do anything about that, guys. That's how bad this wind is out here. So we gotta get shelter set up. I need to take a break though. Okay, so I abandoned the bike just for a minute. I am moving locations The water, I took a good look at it, it's just stagnant as it can be. And walking around this pine forest, I'm seeing a lot of tracks of coyotes. I did see a couple cat prints. I'm not really sure, it could be a bobcat. But I decided I'm gonna go out here to this larger pond. When it's scouted out, we still got daylight, scouted out, find us a better camping spot. We already got food for the night anyway, between the cactus, reindeer moss, grasshoppers that we cut. So we're sitting good there. But I don't like the water, this stagnant water. I'm gonna try to find a cleaner source of water. I mean, we still gotta purify it, but I'm just gonna take my chances over here. All right, so we got out of the pine forest and we got to this backside of this lake here. It's got better fresh water, better odds of fishing. What I'm gonna do though, I gotta have a windbreak. I'm gonna go crazy out here. We're gonna set up camp in there because it's just too windy. Now in our kit, we have what's known as the commando saw. Yeah, I've seen these things break. I broke a couple, and I've seen everyone say these things are not worth having. Well, you can actually operate these things and use them quite a while before breaking them. Now, the directions of this shows you put your fingers in this, and loop around a tree and just go to town. And I've broken every single one of these doing it that way. So we're not going to. And plus it wears out your finger. I've used sticks going into the eyelets and then holding it like that. The best thing to do is go get you a branch and make yourself a saw. This is the best way. And the way the tension is not too strong. You're not going to break it. So we're going to collect some of these young pine trees and stuff and build a shelter today, because day one you've got to have shelter. 3 hours in the elements is basically your survival rating as far as what you want to do. So I always try to do shelter first, the first day, and then I go try to collect water. Just depends on how my body's feeling, stuff like that. Water, as long as I know where water is, I will stop everything and make shelter. Okay, if I cannot find water, I keep pushing because I know I need water as well. But still, that first day, a shelter is being built, because if it comes up a rainstorm, you can get hypothermia from being wet. High winds like we've been dealing with all day today when we came in, that's going to take its toll on you too. The sun, this is Florida. Yeah, you need to have overhead. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and find a suitable trees to cut down. And just like that, we got our first tree. So let's go ahead and collect everything up. We got to get our shelter built, guys. First day again, get that shelter, identify water, hunker down. Then you can go and assess your situation as far as any resources in your area. That's all going on first day. First day is actually a very busy day, because second day and third day, if you don't have food and water, you start just drained. You don't feel like functioning out here. Gotta get a place to sleep. All right, much better, much better. Now, you see all this stuff hanging down, all these needles, all these long pine needles. The loose stuff, guys, put it to the ground, no big deal. I'm actually gonna go out and find some dry grass and other pine branches, put down in here. But all this other stuff, I don't want digging in my head in the middle of the night, because of course I'm gonna think spider. So what I'm doing, I'm just taking it, packing it behind the trees that I actually have in place here, just so it's up out of the way. And it does help with the sound of this mylar when the wind's blowing and stuff. It does help out a lot as far as keeping it a little bit quieter, because like I said, mylar is very loud. Some of the stragglers, you know, you can just clip off. Most of them you can just pop off, but grab your knife, clip them. Stuff you don't want getting jabbed in the eye in the middle of the night. But all in all, tonight we are just going to go ahead and put a debris mattress down. That way I have something to keep my body heat off, you know, from getting sucked out of me. So that's going to be dry grass and branches. We'll put the fire right there where the camera's at, and hopefully that wind just stays this way, because this is the way the wind's blowing, right on top of us through here, and it will give us a nice little quiet spot and everything else. So yeah, I'll tell you what, wind is something else. And plus the sun, I got a sunburn today that fast, just riding around on the bike out here on the trails, done got sunburn, and that is starting to affect me too. It is. Now I've got to figure out and work on water filtration. Today's day 1. Day 2 down here in Florida, I'm gonna be thirsty, so I have some ideas, and hopefully tomorrow we can get out there. Right now I want to make sure I got shelter took care of, because 3 hours without shelter can kill you. And the way our storms are down here in Florida, they roll in quick. Okay, the wind is constantly blowing here. So I could dig a Dakota fire pit. Quite frankly, I'm not hungry right now, so I'm not really worried about it just yet. Hopefully tonight, and I've noticed that in this area at nighttime, the wind calms, we can get a fire going. But let's go ahead and go over what's in this kit. So I already got into the paracord because I had to get a shelter up, and everything's falling out everywhere. We've got a signaling whistle. All right. I've got a mess kit, fork, spoon, knife, can opener. Excuse me. I'm actually getting over a head cold, and I still came out here. This could actually be used as a frog gig, technically, because I don't have any food out here as far as needing, you know, silverware. Tactical pen. It's got the glass breaker and stuff like that. Paracord bracelet. I've actually got some paracord bracelet on me. That was actually a gift from a friend of mine. So paracord bracelet. Got a whistle and a ferrocerium rod on it. So we got a fire starter there. There we go. It's got a compass on it. Now I went ahead and rolled this back up. This is our commando saw, like I showed you how to use. Compass. This is a map compass, but it's not really high quality compass. Yeah, it wasn't a tick, thankfully, so I don't have any bug spray. I've got a collapsible shovel with a pick and extension. I can use that for a Dakota fire pit. Nice. Survival card. These things are handy. They're kind of a gimmicky thing. Scale and fish, sure. Measurements, bottle openers, got an edge on it. You know, usually a multi-tool will bypass all this, but we got it anyway. You can actually make a hatchet out of it. You know what? We might actually fashion a hatchet out of this, just so we actually have a hatchet, because we don't have one. Oh, wait a second. Yes, we do. This kit here comes with a little mini hatchet, set of pliers, hammer, And looks like a little multi-tool set. Fish skinner, can opener, Phillips head screwdriver, saw, and blade. I wonder if that saw would have done better on those pines. Tell you what, using a commando saw on those pines takes a very long time. All right, so we've got two, excuse me guys, I got snot running on my nose. We got two ponchos. Now, our ponchos is what we're going to be using for our water filtration and also water collection. So I have two ponchos here. We do have storms coming in our area. One will get set out as a rain catch system, and the other one is going to be our container. Now, I did mention rocks. Yeah, so we collected those rocks, and those we're going to superheat and actually flash boil water, and that would actually work for purifying our water as far as killing off any bacteria. Gloves. Well, that'd have been nice. I got pine sap all over me. Should have looked into it first. Mosquito netting. This is a headgear mosquito netting. But I got another idea for this. I have shown how to make fish traps before, and it takes a very long time. So, weaving everything for a fish trap. So what I got planned is using this, make a skeleton of a fish trap, and using this as the netting material on the outside for crawfish. It's worth a shot. We got some glow sticks. We'll go over some signaling with that. That's about all they're really good for. Another Mylar blanket. This is one that we already opened up. Flashlight. Oh, it's gonna be dark out here. That is yeah, it's gonna be dark. Excuse me. I'm still sick. I'm better, but I'm still sick. This is one of those fire blowers to get your coals ignited. Quite frankly, I don't use them, but we might be able to use this material for something else. Then again, maybe we'll use it. I don't know. We'll see when when the time comes. First aid kit. Now this is a miscellaneous first aid kit. Got a little rubber strap. Q-tips. Curious Q-tips. Haha. Q-tips made out of wood. Tender. If we were dealing with, I mean, we got cotton swabs, we got cotton, we got Q-tips, we got wood, we got fire. I've got gauze, tweezers, safety pins. There's all kind of stuff in this first aid kit. Okay, so our potable aqua tablets actually came with this. It's actually 8. I thought it was like 6 in here. These are only good for about 1 quart of water, and it takes 4 hours to actually purify. And these things work very well, but it takes a very long time. So we do have that. We might actually go collect water tonight, just so I have something to drink, because I'm thirsty. It's been hot out here. Alcohol pads, iodine pads, a pair of tweezers, and scissors. That's in the first aid kit. What else we got? Move that out of the way. I don't want to lose anything. Oh yeah, here we go. So we have 2 fishing lines right here. They got hooks, floats, string. We're gonna be using this for trot lines for catfishing. And we got a ferrocerium rod with a striker. Okay. And that is everything in the kit. So, now that we've gone over everything, plus the paracord, which we used a lot of it, but we still got a good honk of paracord here. I'm gonna pull this up so we don't lose it. That'd be bad, because I really don't have to make cordage out here. Paracord, the paracord bracelet has paracord. So all in all, I'm gonna go ahead and clip this flashlight on me. Oh yeah, and the folding flip knife that came with the kit too. It's kind of a universal knife. put everything back so we don't lose anything. And I need to get some water, to be honest. I really do. I'm feeling headaches already. It's been hot out. I didn't have any water when I was out riding around on the bike, which done very well. I had no problems with the bike at all. We still got plenty of charge on that. We went several miles with the e-bike to get in location. Rode out here very nice. So yeah, all in all, it's been a fun trip so far. But I need water. So let me get the Mylar blanket and one of these ponchos. So we're gonna make a water collector. We're gonna go get water from the pond and bring it back, and we're gonna start purifying it. All right, now that we have our shelter and everything built, ready to go, we need to go ahead and start making traps as far as food. So we got a pond not far from us, and we got some of these fishing hooks that come with lines. There's weights and floats, everything on here on these reels. So what I want to do, I'm going to sacrifice our mosquito netting. And I know, probably not a good idea down here in Florida, right? Well, I want to go ahead and do that. Either I'm going to make a minnow trap, or I'm going to make a crawfish trap. Both are about the same. Whatever type of trap it just depends on what I catch in it. And I want to get some trot lines out. I'm hoping that we can get some catfish. We were able to catch some grasshoppers today. I'm going to use that as our bait, and hopefully tonight we can actually get something to eat. That would be nice. I have not had any success as far as fishing some of these ponds in this local area, mainly because a lot of these ponds are dead ponds. Now I've caught minnows and stuff, but nothing over the size of anything that would fit in the palm of my hand. And I got pine sap all over me. So we'll go and construct something. And now this is where survival gets tedious. So what we're going to do is make a series of hoops, and we're going to connect them together. I have done fish traps before, been very successful using them to catch minnows, crawfish, things like that. So this time, however, we got our mosquito netting, so I don't even have to worry about trying to mesh it all up and all that stuff, because we already have that on hand. Makes it a lot easier. But we do have to get our structure built, and this is basically going inside just to keep everything open so things will come in and they can't get out. So I recently had a commenter. I read comments all the time, guys. Dude, I noticed that you never have any wildlife. Sorry, the wind has picked up. I noticed that there's no wildlife in your videos. You never catch any food. There's no deer, no raccoons, no this, no that. Well, when you're out here doing survival videos and you're actually surviving, you're making a lot of noise. You are chopping down trees, you have campfires going. Animals are not dumb. If they sense you here, and trust me, they know you're here, they try to stay away from you. This is why I always say you need to try camping and stuff, hunting and stuff away from where you're camping at. Same with your traps and stuff. But see, animals survive because they're not stupid. In other words, if they know that you're in the area, they're moving along. Usually things that come into your camp late at night is either going to be a scavenger, he's trying to be slick, or it's going to be a predator. So I prefer not to have any wildlife show up around me when I'm doing my campouts, because this isn't going to stop much. All right, so we got our grasshoppers. We'll drop them down in there. Pick ourselves up a rock, and we're going to take our paracord and head on down to the pond. So come on. Okay, so next up, we already got our crawfish minnow trap out, and we got our lines. I already got one line out. I need to get another trot line out. This is going to be for catfishing. Either we get some or we not. I got higher hopes in our minnow traps. So the wind is up again, which makes filming difficult, but we do have a lot of work to do because I want to eat some fish tonight. So we have our poncho. It's got a hoodie, it's got sleeves. This is going to be our water catchment as far as transporting water from our pond, as long as it doesn't leak. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a knot in one end and double knot it. That way our water does not leak out. And what we're going to do is go down to the pond and fill our sleeve with water. I'm not sure exactly how many liters that's going to be. That's going to be, I'm going to kind of judge it, try to get a gallon, and then use our potable aqua tablets accordingly, since we got 8 of them, and each tablet's about a quart a piece. So we'll go fill this up at the pond. Oh, that looks delicious. Thankfully, most of that's just pine sludge and stuff. Palm. I'm exhausted. Pond sludge. That's a little over a quart. We're gonna take this back. Give us something to drink on tonight anyway, so I come up with a better plan, and that being the hot rocks. There it is down there. Alright, so while that is doing that, you know what, I'm gonna say that's probably more than a quart. I'm gonna go and put 2 tablets in. Better safe than sorry, right? I'm gonna say that's more than 2 tablets. I'm not worried about a little grit or anything like that in my water. I'm just worried about bacteria. There's a little bit of pine sludge in there. Pond sludge, you know, whatever. My main concern is bacteria, because I don't want to get sick out here. So what I'm going to do, pick all those back up. I'm going to tie me a Bowman in here. Loop it around. And that way I have a nice little drawstring for my water. Just like that. And that way my water will not spill out by accident. We're just going to hang it up here. Now, one of the things I want to do is set up a system so I can boil water, but I don't have a container. I've got this other Mylar blanket. Now, I was going to use this for my own warmth at night, and Mylar does actually provide some form of warmth, But what I'm planning on doing is just keeping a coal bed very close to me and a fire if I need to, and only sleeping 1 to 2 hours at a time at night. Usually at nighttime with this type of dry firewood, you might get 20 minutes before you put more wood on the fire. But because I actually have good weather as far as temperature wise, we're going to dig out a pit that we can lay our Mylar blanket, line it, kind of like a pool lining. And that way when we add our hot rocks to do our flash boil, we got a collection of water. And that way we can actually transfer that water, which will be via t-shirt, soak it up, and pour it into one of our rain jacket sleeves for potable water that we can drink later. So we got that here. We got our survival command. It's actually called a commando shovel. This thing is not like my assault shovel I've got, but I mean it's flimsy. It's made out of stamped, feels like tin, but in a survival situation, will it work? Well, you notice I'm not wailing on this thing. I'm in the sand. I picked this spot specifically because I know there's sand here. We got some roots from the pine trees, no big deal. Gets too big, we can always get our blade out, cut our roots. And also guys, just so you know, and I don't want to put that in the ground, and I'm sorry about the wind, I do apologize, we might have to do voiceovers, but roots make excellent cordage. It's already made. It's already made. This is a rope right here. Bow drill anybody? Now honestly, you better have a bunch of these if you're trying to do a bow drill with natural cordage. It ain't no joke. Maybe this trip, if everything's going good, we can actually play around with it. I can show you guys a little bit of something on the natural cordage as far as bow drills. So we're just gonna go ahead and scrape out a lot of this area, get ourselves a nice little pit dug out so we can put our Mylar in. All right, I don't want too large of an area here. Sorry, the wind, but we're gonna go deep and we're gonna keep the area narrow. That way when the Mylar goes in, we have a nice centralized area. That way when our rocks go in, it doesn't have that much surface area to try to heat up. If you got this wide open area, it's gonna take a lot of rocks. But if you centralize it, kind of cone it in, that's where you're gonna get your highest concentrated heat for your flash boil. And no, I did not come up with the idea of flash boil. There's plenty of other survivalists that are out there that have done that for many of years. And it is a very good method, especially if you have rocks. We had to go out today and pick up a whole bunch of rocks all over the place. I wanted large rocks, staying away from river rocks or anything near the ponds, because I've had those things explode on me. All right, so here we go. This is about 10 inches deep. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go and get the sand up here and repack up here. Just so we have a nice surface. And this way, when we put our Mylar in, we'll push our Mylar down, put our pond water in using our raincoats, put our pond water in, take our rocks from our fire as soon as the wind dies and we can actually get a fire going. I can get a fire going, guys, but it's really dangerous out here. The high winds, we had a really bad wildfire out here a couple weeks ago, and I am not going to be the guy responsible for that. So we're just going to get everything prepped, and as soon as it drops, I did bring camera lighting and all that stuff for night shots. We'll get everything set up here, guys. We'll get our Mylar and everything. We'll get some freaking water that we can actually drink, because I'm still waiting on those potable tablets. It takes 4 hours. And you better wait 4 hours. All right, so our wind has finally died out, which is awesome. So I went ahead and picked up some grass here, some dried grass material. We're going to use this along with some smaller branches and things like that we are going to get a fire started, because we need warmth. All right, we need to boil water, we need to boil up some rocks and all that. I mean, heat up some rocks to boil water and stuff. And the fact is, it's starting to get dark really, really quick. And now the wind's starting to blow again. I'm gonna go to start a fire. It stopped for about 20 minutes, and now it's picking back up. The thing is, we need fire. So we'll go ahead and get this ferrocerium rod going here. All this paint on all these objects makes it a little bit difficult because you got paint on your striker and the ferrocerium rod itself. Now you can always sling your sparks just like that, but I found out if you get really up against it, well, that's not going to work. This is a real cheap ferrocerium rod. Alright, we're going to improvise. Alright, I know they always put the ferrocerium rod on a rope so it makes it easier so you don't lose it. We're getting rid of that. It's actually a pain in the butt trying to use it when you're just limited to a little bit of strike. I like having further range of motion when I'm using my striker. So we're just going to cut that. We're going to go ahead and try to get this fire going here, guys. Get this grass lit up. Ooh, get this grass lit up here. Send that out. We'll put that on the stump so we do not lose it. We got plenty of sticks here, ready to go. Like I said, this stuff is very dried, so it should go up pretty quick. And of course, the wind picked up. We haven't had wind in over 20 minutes. All right, guys, so what do we got? We got catfish. All right, cooking them up right now, and we got ourselves some crawfish too. Got us a couple of these crawfish. We're gonna cook this up. I am currently taking that shovel and trying to burn that paint off of it because I'm having a hard time with the shovel, and I just want to use like a frying pan and put the crawfish directly on it because I keep on dropping my crawfish in my fire, and I'm not too happy about that. So right now I'm got my shovel in the fire trying to burn off all the paint and all the plastic off of it, getting rid of all that. If I need a shovel, I'll get a stick. I'll just dig something out. As of right now, get this catfish going. I'm happy to get this catfish on here. It's just been it's been rough out here. I can definitely say that. But this is why I do it all the time. The harder the better. The more challenging the better. And we're taking a low quality kit. This kit right here, which is getting pretty slim right now. And we're putting it to the test. And we're showing where skills overstep gear. And so far we're doing really well at it. So we've already had multiple fish, multiple crawfish, had lizard, grasshoppers, cactus, lichen. I think that's it so far. So not too bad for a survival camp out. Not bad at all. We haven't had any luck with deadfalls or anything like that, but I mean, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Just depends on if there's game around. If there's no game around, you can put all the deadfalls out you want, and you're not going to get anything. So let's see if I can get the rest of this paint off, because there is paint on the shovel right here. Oh no, it's dirt. Looks like dirt. Okay, it's dirt. I'm gonna name him Bob, and Bob is going in. Got Bob on the shovel, down the fire pit. See how well Bob turns out. I don't have a pot to actually boil water in, and I tried to flash boil one of these, and it just was not cooking well enough. So I don't recommend eating crawfish raw. I don't recommend eating anything raw, to be honest. Too many parasites in the waters, especially down here. The catfish is getting there, guys. and gals, whoever's watching. It's just the way I talk. It's doing good. Still a little not cooked yet. We'll get there. Oh yeah, it's nice having fish. It's nice having crawfish. These things are freaking amazing. So we have 2 traps in water, the ones I've shown, and as long as they keep producing, we'll be fine on this trip. We won't have any problems with nutrition at all between the catfish. Just the crawfish alone is going to be enough nutrition to keep us going the next couple of days. And plus, we're going to keep on picking up other things when we come across it. Cactus, bugs, occasionally, you know. There's nothing wrong with eating a bug, as long as it's the right bug. Make sure you get that pooper out of there. There you go. That's good. So here is our rocks. We're getting them superheated, making sure they are very hot. I'm not worried about ash or soot. You can drink that, you'll be fine. As far as from the campfire, I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is making sure these things are hot enough to kill off any bacteria in that water. Now, this is what they call flash boiling your water. So, sorry, I had a flashlight in my mouth the entire time. Now the water does get all black looking. That's just ash. Once your rocks cool off, pull them out. Let the ash settle down, because these rocks are hot. This is actually very, very hot water. Right now, this is very hot water. About burned my hand. So once the rocks cool down, you pull the rocks out, let the ash and everything sit down at the bottom, skim it out. Either way, you've got water that's been boiled. So it's not our typical 3 minutes to 5 minutes of boiled water, but it is a flash boil. It boils really fast, it kills the bacteria. So this is just another way of purifying water out here without a container, because I would rather have a metal container, but at least I have a way of purifying water. Now I'm out here today looking for leafy vegetation that can actually make a condensation bag using our rain gear. Using the rain jacket, we have 2 of the rain jacket coats. And I came across this because most of the stuff is all pines. You know, you're looking for really leafy vegetation to make these condensation bags work, and it gets really hot down here in Florida. So it only makes sense to make a couple of these things up, just to have another way of collecting fresh drinkable water. Unfortunately, I want to show you this plant here. It caught my eye. It's got leaves. This is yellow indigo. This is a poisonous plant. So you don't want to make your condensation bags out of vegetation, out of any type of plant that has poisonous toxins or anything like that. Now this stuff's great if you're going to be making tattoo ink or something like that, but you want to stay away from certain plants when it comes to your drinking water. So we got to skip this one by. Unfortunately, I got a wind advisory today, and just like yesterday, the winds are kicking up. It is causing some difficulty with our filming, but you know, it's all survival, right? It doesn't play around for your filming. So I'm just trying to make sure we put our mics and stuff in the correct spot so we can still get some good shots, and hopefully everything picks up, because I have no idea if any of this stuff's even working. Alright, so went on a little scavenging quest and got up some leafy vegetation. This is what's going in our condensation bag. Now I could cut off the jacket, one of the sleeves, and do it this way, but I really want to try to keep my resources as much as possible. So what we're going to do is just tie a knot in the sleeve itself at the base, just to keep that water in that we do collect. And then I'm just going to spin wrap the other end once the vegetation's in, and that's going to be the top side. So all of our water collects down here in the bottom. So go ahead and take all this vegetation, set down in here. I'm not going to waste it. This stuff is kind of hard to find out here. We will be probably moving camp tomorrow. We'll be moving closer to the water, maybe on the other side of these ponds, maybe find a different pond. That way we can actually start moving our camp instead of staying in one location. We know what resources we have here, we need to expand. So this is our vegetation bag. We're going to loop that like that, and we're going to set this out in the Florida sun. That condensation, it'll start pulling from our plants and start adding water here. Now, does the water have a planty taste? Yes, it does. This is why I say don't use poisonous plants. Alright, especially the ones that you see if you break up and gets all milky white. Don't mess with that one. That one right there could get you messed up. So, this is the best way to do it. And what we're going to do, we're going to use our hole over there in the ground that we used to flash boil with. And we're going to put this in and just let it do its job. Alright, so our condensation bags are actually starting to work. Look at that. All that condensation is already building up in here, which means all this is going to continue to produce water, and all we have to do is constantly shake up the vegetation, set it back up, and let the sun do its work. Eventually we will have to change out this vegetation, but all this condensation is going to start building up, and it'll build up down here in the bottom. Kind of like making a solar bag where you put a piece of plastic over top, put all your vegetation in the bottom, put a cup. Same process. We've got several hours later here, and get all of our rocks and everything off of our bag. Check our water. We do have water down in here. It looks nasty. That's the plant vegetation and everything, but it is drinkable water. So you can filter it out with a t-shirt, of course. I'm going to untie this end of the bag. Okay, so we got our sleeve of our rain gear undone here. There we go. And that means we got our drinking water. We got a lot of plant debris in it. So, there is a way to actually get water with our rain jacket, even though we didn't have a rainstorm. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to use our collection cup, that beer can, and we're going to start collecting our water and blowing it that way. Of course, we'll have to use our t-shirt or even our hat to filter out the water, catch all this debris and stuff, so we're not blowing up all that plant and everything else with it, all that sludge from the lake and stuff. We don't want all that stuff in our drinking water. But just to show you, there are ways, even using one of these small kits that didn't come with a metal cup, it only came with a couple water purification tablets, that was only going to hold us over for like 8 quarts of water the entire trip. It's just not enough. And some of these kits don't even have that. So with the right skill set, you can find drinkable water. You can make water drinkable, just like this right here. We got ourselves some more of those crawfish, so we'll be eating again tonight. Okay, so getting our fire going so we can actually boil up some water. Now we got our crawfish hanging on the tree. I just went in and got the crawfish trap and brought it in since we're leaving tomorrow anyway and moving to a new location. I wish I'd got it on film, and if it's not on film, it didn't happen. But I did film some of the gator slides. I went to go check our crawfish trap, which I've done multiple times today. About every hour I've been checking it and getting as many crawfish as I can for today. And I had jumped up about a 6-foot gator. He was on the bank. He had came in and turned, and when I walked up, he saw me and took back off to the pond. So where that gator came through, came right in here and then right out. And he was big. I'm hoping he resurfaces. He was big. I'd like to get him back on film. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not a little nervous about getting water. I don't like gators. I mean, they sit right there and they can grab you. So basically treat any body of water down here in Florida as it could have gators. Now, I have been out here at these ponds and stuff before and seen baby gators, and I've seen things move, bushes and stuff in the water, and it wasn't the wind. So there are gators. So we're going to do our catfish. I'm sorry, we don't have catfish tonight. We have some pieces of catfish left over from last night that I cooked up. We got ourselves some cactus. We'll fry up some cactus, and we will boil our crawfish tonight. That's what we're using. This right here, this beer can that we found. Last night we used our shovel, used as a frying pan for our crawfish. This time though, we're going to do it right. We're going to boil up some water, drop them in. This is also going to save us on boiling water in the future as far as our times and everything. We went ahead and filmed doing everything else with water, as far as flash boiling with rocks, condensation bags, all that stuff. And now we found trash, so we're going to use it. Makes my life a little easier out here for the next 5 days. Well, actually the next 3 days. I got 3 more days. But I wanted to film all that other stuff, guys, how you do everything else before running straight to a metal can. But since we did find it at the beginning of our trip, we're going to use it. May as well. Now it is going to get a little chilly tonight. I've got our little thin hoodie, and I'm going to be wearing that tonight. It's supposed to be down like 50, maybe just a little bit below, which doesn't sound like much, but when you're out here every day, it does add up. And if you're out here with just a Mylar blanket for warmth, 50 degrees is pretty cold. It doesn't take much to actually have hypothermia set in. So I'm going to try to keep my body as warm as possible and try to stay out of the wind if possible. That right there's the hard part. Now, since we got this going, we're going to get our pliers here. Actually, you know what? I don't even have to. That's why I got this lid. Make a little spot here in our fire. so we can get our water in here and get started boiling a little bit faster. I'm hungry. Could I go longer without eating? Sure I could. But I got some good sized crawfish up there and I want to eat them. All right, so now to get these suckers out of here because it is hot. Give me something to put them on as well. Oh yeah. Oh. Hot, hot, hot. Smell good. Need to check and make sure that they're actually cooked. They look cooked. Man, that is hot. Burning my fingers. Smells delicious. All right, there we go. That's good. They're done. Oh, that is not a comfortable bed. I heard the coyotes out there howling again. No, like I mean, they're way off. Not way off. I mean, I could hear them. Seem pretty close. It's just bad when you wake up hearing it. That's what's bad. Yeah. Oh man, it's only 1 in the morning. Oh, let's get some more wood on the fire and just wait them out. I mean, coyotes usually don't bother you. They're just more of a nuisance when they're hooping and hollering and stuff. But it is nerve-wracking when you're out here in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I got my bike over there. I got a microphone. I got a camera over there. Got a camera there, but that doesn't do anything. Man, I am still having a hard time shaking this chest cold and head cold. It started as a head cold, went down to my chest. Then I got better. I got out here and it's just bombarded me since I've been here. Oh well. We'll see what happens when morning comes. Just sleep when I can. And when I can't sleep, get up, stoke the fire. We got a busy day tomorrow. We might actually break down camp and move to a new location. Although right now we're sitting pretty good. I do want to get a little closer to our evacuation point. This is our pickup spot. That way I have less travel on my last day. So we'll see. So right now the fishing's good. The water's fine here. It's just those coyotes. Can't stand them. Alright, so I'm beat. I'm dehydrated, not enough water, trying to find a new camp spot. Did come across a whole load of this right here. This reindeer moss. It is edible, as I have said, and having this much supply of it in one hit is great. So what I'm trying to do, I got to downgrade out here, and I know there's ponds, so I'm gonna keep on following this grade down, and I know I'll eventually hit a pond out here. We got some high trees and stuff, so I'm hoping give it some shade, and also I'm hoping that it gives us an opening at the pond. Spider web. I hear a woodpecker out here. Of course, there he is. I was gonna say, of course, when I start getting the camera out, he'll stop. So, still traveling. A lot of this reindeer moss is everywhere. We got a big chunk. I know I can always come back out this direction if I need more. Oh, look at this. This stuff is everywhere. And this stuff's a lot cleaner than the other ones I've been picking up at, as far as less material in it. I mean, really. And what's in it is just pine needle. I can easily take that out. So, I've got to find water. And then I got to get a shelter built. And then I need to get fire. Thankfully, we got our beer can. It's going to make a huge difference. Makes things a lot faster for us. So this is day 3. Still out here. Probably shouldn't have moved camp, but I wanted to get closer to our pickup location. And I did see that alligator yesterday. And more than likely, this pond we're hopefully going to find is going to have alligators too. But I don't like having one in my back door. So, or I should say backyard or back door. Either way, just gotta keep on walking. And make sure you keep your eyes on the ground. And up here in Florida, overhanging tree branches, snakes love them. Okay, so the woods are starting to thin out a lot more. We're getting close. I can actually see the water from here. And found more trash. Another beer can. All right, so we made it to the pond. On the backdrop. Problem is, it's mucky, stagnant water. Even the ground I'm stepping on, I'm sinking in, walking to the pond. I think what I need to do Just keep pushing through and hit another chain. It's about 20 minutes to 1 right now. I'm gonna rest, and then I need to push on through. I don't like this area. I don't like it at all. Mosquitoes are already bad. It's hot out here too. Mosquitoes are already bad. Like I said, I'm sinking in the ground. Yeah, I don't like this. This water just, I mean, yeah, I could get a fire going and purify it. I think I'm gonna get eaten alive by mosquitoes though. Yeah, we're gonna find something with some more room, something that's not all stagnant. Okay, so we're now here at another pond, and I'm cooked. The sun is no joke. This is why we say get shelter within 3 hours. So I've been changing our location, and we're on this other pond down here. We went to one earlier. It's just scummy. I didn't like it. So what I want to do is start getting a shelter build, and what we're going to put in here is just a regular lean-to. I'm going to grab a branch and break off all these extra branches. This tree is actually, well, if I don't trip over my own feet, it's actually pretty strong. So what we're going to do is just make a lean-to off of it. Since the heat of the day, the sun's over here and just beating down, and the wind's coming in from this direction as well. So what I want to do is block all of that as much as possible, and we're just going to make a debris shelter. Odds are, since it's not supposed to be raining, we're going to keep our Mylar blanket handy. That way I have extra things to wrap up with, because it got cold last night, and with the sunburn, as you know, you feel the chill at night, and I'm going to feel it again tonight. All right, I am out of the sun. Oh man, I will need to get some more insulation. I definitely need to get some more insulation. Finish sealing it up. There's plenty of that plant around. I need to get a mat down, get something built to sleep on, because I really want to sleep directly on the ground. It's just nicer to have something nice to sleep on. Sorry, my words are slurred a little bit because the heat got to me. Since we moved location, I wasn't traveling with water. My lips are chapped, they're cracking, and I've been drinking water since I've been out here. Just not enough. So thankfully we got that beer can, and we found that other beer can, which is awesome. So we'll be able to get some water. I'm also going to throw some trout lines in the pond, and also our crayfish trap. I got that with us. We're going to throw that out. We got husk of the crayfish and stuff. Hopefully that'll be enough to bring them back in. That way we can eat tonight as well. All right, so we got dinner. We got another catfish. I've got it right here. Let me go ahead and move the camera around so you guys can see it. I just got the fire started. I know it's a little early, but I only dropped them a couple times on the ground after skinning them. All right, there we go. Whew, that flame's a little hot. All right, so we got our pine needle tea here. Our fish is still cooking. I just keep on getting closer to the coals, cook it for a few minutes. Not bad. It does have a, I mean, I can always taste it. I can always tell it's got pine taste. This thing's still warm. But for a warm drink, yeah, it's not bad. It's better than drinking water all the time. I'm holding it that way because the can's hot. Here we go. There we go. Those gloves are too small for me to wear. Alright, good morning. This is our day 4. Now, every time I leave a campsite, I always tear down my shelters, kind of throw everything back into the woods. All this material here came off the ground, all the branches and things like that, that's all dead wood. And I don't leave it in one location. I kind of spread it out a little bit, try to clean up my area as much as possible. Basically, you bring trash in, you take trash out. You start building structures and stuff, go ahead and take those things apart. It just doesn't blow up your camping spots, let's put it that way. Now, I'm actually headed out again. I did a long travel yesterday. Tomorrow's extraction. And I want to get within 1 to 2 miles of my extraction point. So I've got about 8 miles of hiking through all this stuff you've already seen me hike through. Got about 8 miles of that to do. That way I can set up at camp and get my pickup tomorrow. Because my pickup time has changed. It was supposed to be tomorrow afternoon. It's changed to tomorrow morning. So now I have to change my plans for my survival out here by about 6 hours. Now, one of the things I am going to do is I'm going to keep this with me, and I'm going to use my rain poncho, the sleeves on those rain ponchos, as water bladder bags. I'm going to boil up a lot of water, store up as much water as possible, because the sun is out. It's a little overcast right now, but this morning when I got up, it was baking me. That's why I've been hiding in the shelter. This shelter here was just designed just to keep the sun off of me. The wind is picking up, but I've got 8 miles to travel through brush, and I need water. So, keeping the metal container, that way I can boil water here, let it cool, transport it using my rain jacket, using the sleeves as a bladder bag. We're going to head out and try to make up as much time as possible. Got a lot of miles to go. I am exhausted. I've been eating fairly well on this trip. I've had trips where I've came out and I've been surviving on grubs and earthworms. Well, thankfully, the only bugs we've eaten is grasshoppers, and they're not bad. You know, I hate to cut up that rain jacket because it's been a lifesaver out here. But being able to transport water, throw it in our saddlebag or the backpack while we are traveling, is going to be a good thing, because not having water out here in Florida, drinkable water, is going to suck. So we are going to be taking our can with us, of course. We're going to boil up some more water along the way if necessary. But this should hold us over for a while anyway, until we get more. Okay. Oh man, I'm still snotty nose. Oh, camera gear. Still all snotty nose from that head cold and stuff I had. Sorry, at least it didn't blow a snot rocket. Now we'll have to take some time and relax a little bit. I've been out his thing for about 2 hours now. I've still got a ways to go. I'm hoping to get to the location we need before nightfall. I just don't have the energy. This has been a hard trip. Even with food and extra transportation, I've been trying to wheel this thing through all this brush. This is one of the things I talk about on my YouTube channel. Bugging out for preppers, you know, SHTF moments. I always see the comments of, I got a bike. I got a bike too. There's pros and cons for everything. Trying to go through the woods with a bicycle that's not on a trail, oh, it's gonna beat your body. I've seen places here in Florida that it's just been a wall of thorns, scrub oaks, things like that, popcorn trees. You can't even push through. I mean, you're actually climbing over, and I've actually done outdoor videos showing that, and falling too. So there's pros and cons for everything. Will a bike get you from point A to point B on flat level ground? Absolutely, much faster than walking. You can load more stuff on it. You can even attach a trailer to it. You're not going through this with a trailer attached to your bike. If you had a bike trail, yeah, but we're not on trail. I know which direction we're going. I have to pull my compass back out occasionally, re-look at it, make sure we're going the right direction. But all in all, it's been a good trip, but I got a lot more ground to cover before it gets nightfall. And I also noticed something. I don't know where my ferrocerium rod is. I checked my pockets. I thought I put it in my pocket. I thought I put it in this pocket right here, and the zipper was open. Don't know how, but it's not there. What I'm hopeful is that it's in the pack, because if it's not, well, I have ferrocerium rods on me, but then we'll be cheating, because this trip was taking one of those 5-day kits, nothing but, and surviving for 5 days. I got to keep my eyes open for some hardwood or some really dried out pine that's not dead, you know, breaking apart. We might be using a bow drill tonight just so we can purify water and stuff. Luckily we do have our bladder bags that we made out of a raincoat, but I don't like having that limited of water. I'm going to try to collect water as we go if I come across any, and get to a better location. At least I'm trying to push for at least a mile to our pickup spot tonight. All right, I gotta get back at it. You can tell how tired I am. I don't have my bag strapped. This camera equipment's getting heavy. Oh, it might look a little smaller. That's because I put the survival pack in one of my saddle bags, along with our water and air pump for the bag and everything. Just get some of the weight off my back, because I'm tired. I lost my rope. I got paracord, but I lost my rope I had everything tied to. Anyway, let's go. You don't want to start sweating. Not out here. Although, it's just hot, so it's going to happen. I don't have to worry about hypothermia or anything like that. But it does get chilly at night. Last night, it was pretty cold. The night before, it dropped down in its 40s. I know that's not freezing temperature, but if you're soaked, yeah, it doesn't take much for hypothermia to set in, and you can get hypothermia down here in Florida. A lot of people disagree with me on that, but they're not out here. So, those are facts. I believe one of the hardest things anybody would ever have to do in a survival situation is walk away from resources. That's the toughest part. Now, I can hear a road out in that direction. It's southwest of me, out that way. That is closer. I'll be heading that way. So I know I'm within 1 to 2 miles, maybe 3 miles of it, because I'm hearing the echoes of large trucks. That's telling me I'm closer. I'm gonna keep on pushing. I'm gonna find some shelter here. I'm not gonna make shelter. I'm just gonna use what I got. Huddle up underneath a tree or something like that. Just get out of the sun for a bit. Rest up. Try to get a couple more miles down before I set up camp for tonight. And that way tomorrow morning I'd get up at daybreak and finish hiking out the rest, 1 to 2 miles. I haven't been able to find any other form of water out here. I was hoping to come across at least one more of those small ponds. I'd even take that old stagnant pond we found the other day. I would even take that. We still have our beer can, and we're running low on our bladders, our water bladders that we made. So I'm gonna try to keep that maybe right before I go to bed. Drink that, then lay down. Might be a better option because I'm not moving around, so I hope my body will retain that water without sweating it all out in the middle of the night. That way tomorrow morning I can get up and get out of here. Currently taking a break. It is midday. It's almost 1 o'clock actually. This sun is brutal. I've been having to take a lot of breaks ever since we got out of that pine forest and started getting in these valleys, these ridges with all these shorter sand pines. Seems like the heat has increased. So what I've done, I cleared out some branches, broke them back a little bit, just so I can actually get in here. Sorry, I just had a muscle spasm. Damn, biceps started spasming. That's from dehydration. So trying to come in here, what shade I can find, which is the sand pine. There's not much shade. I just got to watch where the sun's sitting at and try to hide underneath it as long as I can, what shade I can actually make. But the heat is definitely here. So, as you can tell, it's already gotten dark on me out here. Got my material. I want to go ahead and make a bow set. So that is actually what we got here. Get everything ready. Okay, set that over here. Don't want it on the ground. And we have coal burning. Make sure this ember is coming up here. Now we got to let this thing breathe. Condensation is already coming in as far as everything's starting to get damp. Now I made this material up here out of dry grass and it's like crabgrass. So what I'm hoping is to catch it in here and blow it in as long as our ember holds out. You don't want to lose that. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Alright, alright, alright. Come on, baby, come on. Oh yeah. Oh, let me get my bow out of the way. Well, since we got fire, I could actually keep this bow set. I could always get another one of these though. I could actually keep this. I'm leaving tomorrow, so I'm not planning on actually making another fire tonight. I'm just going to get some more firewood and keep this one going. So, in tradition, my bow set is going in the fire. What I need to do is practice my bow drill with natural cordage. That's a tough one. It's not easy. So that's something I do need to work on in the future, is the bow drill with natural cordage. So yeah, after a day like today, I'm beat. I don't have a shelter up. I'm using the 2 Mylar blankets that we have. I got one on the ground. I got this one to cover up with tonight. I'm just gonna get close to the fire. It's not gonna be cold tonight. There's no rain that's coming in, so it should be good. Go ahead and crash out for the night. Start an early day tomorrow and head on back home. So that is 5 days here in Northwest Florida. So we have made it to our destination. We found the road for our extraction, which I'll pan over here for you. So this trip has been rough. It's been tough. I'm glad it's over. Catch y'all next time.